What's up, Young Wisdom watchers? I am back with another reaction. So I did tell y'all in the post that we had Thriller Teller along with two new horror content creators who do animations that I came across while surfing YouTube. And one of them is named Martin Animations. Now we have two disturbing true horror stories animated, uploaded June 30th, 2020. Now I've never heard of this gentleman. I don't believe I've seen any of his work. So he's new to the channel and he's new to me because I had never heard of him or anything like that before. So we gonna get into it. It looks like it's gonna be good. Y'all already know all the important links will be down in the description. So without further ado, man, let's get into it. Let's see what Martin Animations has for us.
I recently started school again, and as a part of my daily routine, I am required to travel to Toronto Monday through Friday via the train and subway lines. It's a good 2 hours one way, so I usually pull out a good book, pop in my headphones, and relax to some music. I, of course, being from out of town, have heard a lot of horror stories that many people have endured on the subway. Naturally, I thought most of it was just exaggerations and tall tales. Well, I was very quickly proven dead wrong. About a week ago, I had just finished a very long and grueling day of school, and I wanted nothing more than to just get home and relax as soon as possible. I took my usual bus route to the subway station and sat down on one of the seats directly beside one of the exit doors. Now, a little context. I am facing forward, looking at one seat ahead of me, across the aisle of the subway car. This seat was occupied by a woman that looked to be in her 20s. She was what looked like playing a game on her phone and was paying absolutely no attention to anything going on around her. Next to this seat opposite me is another seat that faces this lady on her phone, and it is this person in this seat that made my 40-minute subway ride very disturbing. Occupying this seat was another lady that looked to be about 40 years old and possessed a very creepy smile. I say this because she never stopped smiling. And I mean, she was smiling the entire subway ride. For the first half of the ride, she was staring at the younger lady on her phone, laughing and muttering to herself. She also would occasionally take her phone out of her purse and take pictures of the girl on her phone. About halfway to my destination,
Tell her.
the younger girl that was on her phone left the subway car, and the smiling lady's attention was then directed at me. She turned to face me and gave me a huge, disturbing, toothy grin. I just stared at a poster on the roof of the train for what felt like hours. Eventually, she got the hint that I was avoiding her gaze like the plague and went to plan B. She opened up her purse and removed a tube of toothpaste. She then proceeded to ingest at least half the tube. I damn near threw up, but somehow held it together, even though while she did this, she was still smiling at me.
The fuck?
While laughing. Now her face covered in toothpaste. My stop finally came, and I bolted from that subway car as fast as I could. I got to the escalator and glanced back to the car, and guess who I see walking fast towards me, arms held still at her side, still smiling. I was understandably completely terrified at this point.
What you freezing for?
I ran out of the station into the bus. I made it onto the bus just as it pulled away from the station. I took one final look back, and there she was, standing on the platform, head cocked to the side, laughing and waving goodbye to me.
You almost got. You should have told that young chick.
I am a 14-year-old, and 2 days ago, something very creepy and unnerving happened to me.
That she was being creeped on.
I am on the cross-country team at my school, and our coach wants us to stay in shape during quarantine, so I was going on a run. I tend to run early in the morning, around 5:30 or 6, because the weather is cooler and less people are out and about. It's also nice to get your run over with so that the rest of the day is free. For you to understand exactly what happened, I need to explain the route that I run, so bear with me. I live in a nicer neighborhood in the US. My neighborhood is also near a major road. When I go on my run, I leave my neighborhood, travel down the main road, and enter a different neighborhood that is close to my own. This neighborhood has a low crime rate, is on the richer side, and goes along a big reservoir. It has lots of hills, and some of the bigger houses near the entrance of the neighborhood are backed up against some woods. I run through it because I like to look at the big houses, and sometimes some of the wildlife, such as deer, which sometimes makes its way out of the woods. When I run through it early in the morning, I get to enjoy the lack of people and the bird song. You need to understand that I run this route every morning, and no strange occurrences have happened with me being there. Now that you understand this setup, I'll tell you what happened. Like I said, this was 2 days ago. I left my house and neighborhood per usual and ran along the major road to the entrance of the neighborhood that I usually run in. Almost as soon as I come across the first house on the street, one of the ones that is backed up against some woods, I hear a rustling in the bushes. I think, oh cool, it's probably one of the deer, and slow down to try to spot it. But it never came out of the bushes. So I pick up my pace and continue along. Not long after that, maybe 2 minutes later, I hear someone on a bike behind me. This isn't unusual, so I don't think much about it, until the guy on the bike says, beep beep. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he doesn't have a bell or something, so I move over to the right to let the guy pass me on my left. But he doesn't. He stays right behind me. I'm not a slow runner, but someone on a bike would definitely be faster than me. If you have ever tried to go really slow on a bike, you will understand how hard it is to keep your balance. So I'm thinking, okay, this is really weird. I have a feeling that this guy is bad news.
He too close.
I need to shake him.
Exactly.
So I slow to a stop and get over to the side of the road to tie my shoe, which doesn't really need to be tied.
He gonna stop.
To see if he'll pass me. He doesn't.
See?
He just stopped.
See?
When
He
it
on
becomes
something.
clear that he isn't going anywhere, I get back on the sidewalk and keep running. Bad choice, I know, but I was panicking. Of course, the man on the bike follows. But even though my attempt to shake him didn't work, I did get a good look at him. He was tall and thin, with glasses, and he wore a Nirvana t-shirt.
Thick ass glasses.
He definitely looked like a serial killer. As an avid reader of horror novels and an obsessive listener of scary podcasts, I was already thinking of the absolute worst possible outcome. I was going to be murdered when I had been out of my house for less than 10 minutes. Worse, I was over 2 miles from my house, so I was going to have to continue running. Now, I know that what I should have done was go to the closest house and let the family that lived in it know what was going on.
He's too close.
But I wasn't thinking clearly.
Hell no.
So I kept running, and the man on the bike kept following me at a meticulously slow pace. I was tired, sweaty, and near tears. I wanted to go home. Home was the only thing on my mind. I started looking around for ways to lose him or hide. Just up ahead of me was a sharp turn. My hope was that I could get around the turn faster than him and then hide. Not a very well-developed plan, but better than being killed by a random person. I sprinted around the corner as fast as I could, right into a young woman who was out walking her 2 dogs. Big dogs. German shepherds, actually.
Ooh.
I started to apologize profusely, trying to look calm. Apparently, I did not look calm at all, because she asked me what was wrong. The man was still behind me, practically breathing down my neck. I stared at the woman, pleading with my eyes, and said, "How is your walk going, Mom?" I prayed that she would understand, that she would play along. And fortunately for me, she did. She smiled at me and said, "Where were you? Me and your father were looking all over for you." We both then turned to look at the man on the bike, who looked extremely shocked. He turned around and quickly pedaled away, almost running into an oncoming car. As soon as he was gone, I broke down crying, telling the woman everything. She was very sympathetic and kind, and she ended up calling my parents to come pick me up. I was still sobbing when they arrived, and I had to catch my breath before telling them what happened.
Y'all should have called the police.
Looking back, I am almost positive that if I hadn't run into that woman, that something awful would have happened. I'm not sure if the rustling in the bushes at the entrance of the neighborhood was that man or not,
I'm pretty sure.
but I am completely content with never knowing. I have not been back to that neighborhood since, and I'm not sure if I ever will.
Why would you? Why didn't y'all call the police? Why are people so apprehensive on calling the police nowadays? I understand, with everything that's going on in the world, people aren't too quick to call the police anymore, but still, man, something like that, you should have called the police. If anything, because I'm about to start running, because, there's police departments that are probably going to start hiring, pretty soon. So I should have been running to begin with, but I'm going to start that back. And it's kind of like, man, if you're going to run, especially late at night or early in the morning, take a weapon. It could be a pole, a stick. A firearm would probably be kind of heavy to carry on your person and conceal it where it won't drag you down. But, whatever weapon suits you, take that when you go running late at night, which I don't know why you would do it late at night. But, yeah, man, he almost got. Both of the main characters in both of these stories almost got. And for what reason, though? Because they decided not to call the police? Come on, man. The dude in the first story should have told the young lady, hey, the woman behind you is creeping on you, taking pictures of you, and all that shit. So you need to move your seat, or you need to take care of her ass. But I guess she ended up getting off the bus, or whatever. So, yeah. It's crazy how when the adrenaline is rushing, and your blood is like, I don't know, it's like just the heat of the moment. That's the phrase I'm looking for. Like, you don't always think rationally. Like, you don't think everything through. It's kind of just like whatever seems convenient at the moment, you just jump on it. I don't know. Yeah. Old boy in the second story, he was bullshitting. Real talk. He almost got for real. Like, the dude was so fucking close, fam. Like, how do you like, you don't try to snatch him off his bike, try to do something, pick up a stick, throw it at his ass. Like, come on, man. Maybe I just have a sense of survival that most people don't have. I'm quick on my feet, so I guess that's why. But he almost got. I'm glad you didn't, but you almost got. You were playing. The dude in the second story, you were playing that whole time. Playing around with your life. And you almost lost it to a weirdo. I want to thank y'all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you drop a like, a comment, share the video, join the crew. That is all I have for y'all. So until next time, I am out. You guys stay safe and stay blessed.